the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
The Shadow, a curious kind that wages war for law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, a wealthy young man about town. As the Shadow, Cranston's gift is his hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so that they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the Shadow belongs. Today's story: The Voice of Death.
Sam?
Yes, Annie.
You almost finished reading your paper?
Yes, Annie.
Sam, time to go to bed, ain't it?
Yes, Annie.
Well, better make sure all the windows are shut. Sounds like a real mean storm coming up.
Yes, Annie.
Sam!
Yes, Annie?
Did you hear that?
What?
Sounds just like a little kitten.
Yeah, I wonder where they came from.
Well, the poor things. Out on a night like this. Sam, go on out and find them.
Now,
Poor things.
Annie, you don't expect me.
Listen to them little critters. Ain't you got no heart, Sam?
All right, where's my raincoat?
Well, here you are. And I'll set a little box down by the fire.
All right. Now, stop your crying, kittens. I'm coming.
I think I'll set a bit of milk, too.
Here, kitty. Kitty.
Do you see them, Sam?
Nah, not yet. Here, kitty. I just don't see them out here. Kitty.
You see them?
No, not yet.
Sam! What's wrong? What in the name of... Sam, what happened? Sam, you're covered in blood. You're all covered with blood.
They tore my throat out.
Sam, how could little kittens do? Sam, oh, he's dead.
Well, I must say, Lamont, we picked a fine day to go visiting.
You want to know a secret, Margot?
I'm your man.
This whole thing is just an effect.
Oh, effect, eh?
People always look for a mysterious atmosphere in the Louisiana bayous, so Mother Nature very obligingly provides it for them.
I see. Well, I must say, sunshine wouldn't make a great deal of difference. I don't see how it could ever penetrate those moss-laden trees. Is there much further to go, Lamont?
I don't think so. Martha told me the house was exactly 5 miles from that last bridge.
Why would anyone want to live way off like this?
Well, the house has been in Arthur Whittington's family for many, many years. Arthur being a rather peculiar chap, I don't suppose it bothers him in the least.
Oh, forgive me for appearing dull, but I don't get it.
Well, Margot, it's a long story. It began in college when we took a medical course together. I guess I was the only person in the whole school who really understood him.
Why was that?
Well, Arthur was a studious student, but he was also a highly sensitive lad, always imagining that people were making fun of him, laughing at him behind his back.
Was there any reason for that?
Well, yes, there was. It was his voice. He had the harshest sounding voice I've ever heard. It cracked, it rasped, it did everything that a voice shouldn't do.
Really?
In fact, it was his voice that made him leave medical school.
I don't follow you, Lamont.
Well, it all happened one day in class. Arthur had prepared a paper, an excellent paper that he had to read aloud to the student body.
Gentlemen, please. Elocution, Mr. Willington. Well, Mr. Whittington, where are you going? Please, why are you leaving the classroom? Why, he threw down his paper and left the room.
And that was that, Margot.
Oh, that poor boy.
I never heard of him since. But we've corresponded, and then, as you know, when he learned that we were down here fishing in Louisiana, he got in touch with me and invited us to see him.
Well, he goes a long way after running away and living out here so far from civilization. You know, he still must be sensitive about that horrible voice.
Yes, I'm sure he is. But remember, we mustn't do anything to call attention to it.
Heavens, no, I wouldn't. Lamont, something right ahead in the road.
Yes, I see it. With the rain on the windshield, it's hard to... Why, it's some sort of a fence.
Well, it looks like we've reached the end of the line, and not a house in sight.
Uh-huh. There seems to be a sign on it. We better get out and investigate. Button up that raincoat, Margot.
Oh, don't worry.
It's so dark I can hardly make that sign out.
Take the flashlight, Lamont.
Yeah, there we are. Well, Whittington Hall. Keep out.
That's a nice welcome.
Oh, I'm sure that doesn't mean us. Well, looks like we're going to have to walk down this path to get to the house.
I think I can just see it through the trees. Lamont, do you hear that?
Yes. Sounds like little kittens.
Oh, the poor things out in weather like this. I'm gonna go find them. They seem to be under the porch. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Margot, you'll get soaked climbing around in that underbrush.
Well, I have them just to...
Margot, what in the name of... Dogs! Giant dogs! Get back! Get down! Get down! Margot, get over here! There, they're running away. Margot, are you all right?
Yes, I guess so.
Did they hurt you?
No, one of them ripped my coat, that's all. Lamont, I don't understand. They sounded like little kittens.
Yes, I know.
What do you make of it, Lamont?
I don't know. There's one thing for certain. I'm going back to my car and getting my revolver.
Lamont, I have never seen such an eerie-looking house in my life. The broken shutters and the crumbling stairs and unpainted walls. Don't tell me this is the Whittington mansion.
I guess it is, Margot.
I sure wish we were back in New Orleans.
Well, if you'd rather, we could...
No, we've come this far. Go ahead and knock at the door. I promise you, if a ghost answers, I won't be surprised.
No, frankly, nor will I.
You going to tell Mr. Whittington about the dogs?
Of course, why not?
That may sound a bit strange in the telling. Dogs that sound like little kittens.
Well, he may know who's...
What do you want?
Oh, good evening. We'd like to see Mr. Whittington, please.
What is it about?
He's expecting us.
There are no guests expected here tonight.
Look, if you'll say that Miss Lane and Mr. Cranston are here...
I'm telling you that Mr. Whittington is not seeing anyone tonight.
Jasper, what is it?
People here, Mr. Arthur.
Arthur, it's Lamont Cranston.
Lamont, come in. Jasper, you old fool, I told you we were expecting Mr. Cranston.
Sorry, Mr. Arthur. Come in, sir, please.
Well, Lamont, I'm glad you're able to come. It's good seeing you again.
Thank you, Arthur. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Miss Lane. This is Arthur Whittington, Margot.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Whittington?
Well, come, take off those wet coats.
Yes, we're more or less swimming in these.
Jasper, show Miss Lane and Mr. Cranston into the living room. There's a fire there, Lamont. You can dry off.
All the comforts of home.
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I'll go and arrange for dinner.
Oh, yes, of course.
You'll come this way, please?
Thank you.
Lamont, this place is just as scary inside as it is outdoors.
Yes, I see what you mean.
What in the world was inside that anteroom? With candles and old-fashioned lamps? I don't understand how anyone can live here.
There's something else more difficult to understand, Margot.
What do you mean?
That man that greeted us was Arthur Whittington, but it sure wasn't Arthur's voice.
No, Lamont, I saved this wine for special occasions. Very special occasions.
Well, we're flattered.
I suppose my mode of living is a bit mystifying to you, Miss Lane?
Mystifying?
Well, my staying here in the wilderness, a house that is almost in ruins, living alone with just the servants.
Well, I think it might have its advantages, too.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. You know, some people might not understand.
I must say, though, Arthur, for a man who's roughing it, you set a highly civilized table.
I'm like a Britisher in the tropics. I like to maintain some kind of decorum.
Mr. Arthur.
What is it, Jasper? Why are you interrupting my meal?
They're loose again.
What? I told you to keep that door locked.
I know, but they got out.
Fool!
They must be someplace near. I keep hearing them.
Excuse me, please, Miss Lane. Lamont, I'll be right back. Come on, Jasper.
Yes, sir.
Oh, don't mind us. You know the worst people. What's this all about?
I'm not sure, Margot, but it could be those savage dogs.
Yeah, do you think they belong to Mr. Whittington?
Perhaps.
You know, I'm letting you in on a little secret. I wish we could leave here.
But why, Margot?
Well, the way Arthur Whittington acts, the way he talks, the way he looks at you, I don't know, it just sends shivers up my back.
Yes, but we can't leave now. Not until this storm is over anyway.
Still, I wish that we had never... Lamont, do you hear that?
Yes. That same sound. They're near the house this time.
Why does he have such beasts around here, and how do they get the voice of a cat?
That's something we'll find out when Arthur returns. I'm going to find out...
What was that?
It's a human voice.
It sounds like it's coming from someplace in the house.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like this place, Lamont. When he comes back, I think we should ask for an explanation. I think we should know about these dogs and that moaning, too.
Yes, when Arthur returns, I think...
I have returned, Lamont.
I didn't hear you come in.
What was that about my returning, Lamont?
Well, Arthur, both Margot and myself are curious about learning something about two giant dogs that we encountered on our way in here.
Yes, well, what about them?
Well, we wondered just how it was possible that these huge animals had the vocal cords of tiny kittens.
Oh, Lamont. I think I shouldn't have given you that last glass of wine.
No, but it's true. I saw and heard them, too.
Oh, come, Miss Lane. I'd say your imaginations are working overtime.
Who is that, Arthur?
What? What are you talking about?
Don't you hear it?
That human voice. Someone in this house. Arthur, we've got to find out...
Yes, I know. Well, now that you've heard him, I'll have to explain his presence.
Well, who is it? Why did he cry out like that?
Miss Lane, that was my cousin, Frank Harper. He's in one of the rooms off this corridor. He's locked in that room because he's not right mentally.
Oh.
I'm sorry you had to learn about this. Family skeletons are not very friendly topics. Harper!
Yeah, Yes, you see, my dear cousin Arthur, I've been freed of my cell at last, and now I'm going to
Get out of here, you hear me?
No, I won't. Help me, you two. Help me. You can't keep me here like this.
Get back to your room!
No, let me go.
I must handle this in my own way. Excuse me.
Get over here. Inside.
Oh, Lamont, that was horrible.
Yes, and it was also very revealing.
What do you mean?
The voice of that man, Harper, is the voice that used to belong to Arthur Whittington.
Lamont, what does this all mean?
I don't know yet, Margot. Some way, somehow, that poor creature that rushed in here has been given Whittington's voice.
Listen. The animals again.
Yes, they're part of this thing too. This mix-up of voices.
Oh, Lamont, I wish we could leave here right now.
We can't go now, Margot. Not until we learn what's behind all this.
Lamont, what's happening up there?
Harper's being beaten. Come on, Margot. We're going to that room.
Wait, what are you going to do?
I want to talk to that boy. Quietly, Margot. We must get down that hall without Whittington hearing us.
What is he doing to him?
Quiet, Margot. His room is right down here.
Are you going in?
Not yet. Not until Whittington leaves. I want to talk to the boy alone.
Perhaps I'd better wait in the living room.
Well,
If Whittington wants to know where you are, I'll tell him you've gone out to the car for something.
very well, Margot.
Please, Lamont, please don't be long.
I won't. The answer to this mystery will be found out very quickly by the Shadow.
An effective whipping will teach you about not going around this house without permission. You will stay here and be quiet. Understand? You will obey me in the future. Good night, my dear cousin.
Harper,
What was that?
I've come here to help you, Mr. Harper.
The voice of death.
No.
I'm hearing it again.
No, you're not.
Who speaks to me?
I'm called the Shadow.
I see no one.
I'm standing right beside you, but you can't see me because I've used my hypnotic power to cloud your vision.
I don't understand.
Listen to me, Harper. I'm here to help you get out. But first, I must learn something from you.
You'll help me?
Yes. But tell me, why are you here? Why has your cousin kept you locked in this room?
He's jealous of me. He's always been.
How did he get you into this house?
I came to visit, just like the couple I saw in the dining room tonight. They'll never get out. You never will either.
Why do you say that?
He will use them just as he used me for his devilish work.
Why was your cousin jealous of you?
Because of my voice.
Yes, what about your voice?
I used to have the voice that Arthur has now.
I knew it. What did he do? How did he accomplish this transfer?
He came to my house one night, had dinner, then I passed out. I'd been drunk.
Yes, then what happened?
Well, when I came to, I was in his laboratory.
He has a laboratory here in the house?
Yes, I was strapped to a table. I fought to get loose, but it wasn't any use. And then he clamped an ether cone on my face. I passed out.
And when you came to?
When I came to, it must have been days later. I had his voice, that horrible voice of his, and he had mine.
And you have been kept prisoner here ever since?
Yes, always in the cell, that insane cell. Even the dogs get out. Those savage dogs that he gave the voice of little kittens.
Oh, I see. Well, that accounts for the dogs. Well, I promise this to you, Mr. Harper. You shall be free to leave this tomb of yours tonight.
Is that you, Lamont?
No. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Whittington.
Yes, where is Lamont?
Well, he went out to the car for something.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps you'd like me to show you to your room while we're waiting.
Oh, no, he won't take long. I'll wait for him.
I'd rather you come with me now, if you will. I have several chores to perform, and I'd just like to have you know where your room is.
Very well.
Thank you. Just down this hall, Miss Lane.
Thank you.
I think you'll be very interested in what I have to show you. Now, this will be your room. Won't you step inside?
All right. Is there a light that I can... What are you doing?
I'm just making sure that no one will disturb us, Miss Lane.
I want you to unlock that door.
Now we'll put on this lamp. There.
What's this? What is this lab?
Ah, this is my laboratory, Miss Lane. My workshop where I conduct my experiments.
Let me out of here. Unlock that door at once.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're staying here.
If you don't let me out, I'll call for help. Lamont will hear me.
Why don't you call?
Lamont! Lamont!
Now, before you continue, Miss Lane, you'll need to know that these walls are completely soundproof.
What are you doing? Why have you got me here?
You're going to help me, Miss Lane.
Help you?
Yes, you're going to be party to an experiment of mine. My greatest experiment.
What do you mean?
You'll learn soon enough. First, I'm afraid, though, I must strap you to this table.
No. No. Get away from me.
Come
Lamont!
here. Come here.
Lamont!
Don't struggle. Come over to this table now.
No!
Don't stop pounding on that door.
Let go of me!
You come with me now. On the table.
No!
Now.
You can't do this!
There you are.
Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Now, a few
No!
straps to hold you securely.
Loose!
There.
No!
Now you can struggle and scream as much as you wish. Oh, I would particularly recommend the scream, as it may be the last time you use it.
What do you mean?
Well, this experiment of mine has to do with your voice, Miss Lane. That's my work, you know, the transference of voices.
What are you saying?
Well, you've already heard two of my examples. The dogs with the voices of little kittens, and the voice of my cousin, Frank Harper.
Then it's true. What Lamont said is true.
Oh, so he guessed my secret, eh? Well, he'll never live to tell it.
Oh, no.
You will survive, though. But you won't be able to tell it either, Miss Lane.
What are you going to do to me?
I'll show you. The answer to your question is in this box. Here, let me open it. There we are.
A cat?
Yes, a little kitty. Have you ever seen a more beautiful cat?
What has a cat got to do with me?
A great deal. You see, I'm giving her your vocal cords.
No, you don't know what you're doing.
Oh,
You're lonely.
not at all. No. I merely have a great hatred for the entire human race. They ruined me. They blighted me for my entire life. But animals, oh, they are victims just like me, aren't you, my little kitty? Yeah.
Oh, you can't say what you mean to say.
Oh, but I do. Now, little lady here knows that, don't you, little kitty? Yes, she knows that after tonight, we will be able to converse. Yes, we will, won't we?
You can't. You can't do this.
And you, Miss Lane, as befits your sex, you will have the vocal cords of a cat.
No.
Now I think we can proceed with the...
No!
Oh, no,
Get away!
There'll be no pain.
Get away!
This ether will see to that.
No! Get away!
No, she isn't ready, Mr. Whittington.
Who's that? Who spoke?
I spoke to you.
Who are you?
I'm called the Shadow. Don't try to find me. I've made myself quite invisible to your eyes.
What are you doing here? Why are you interrupting my work?
I've come to put an end to your work. I've come to free that young
Oh,
woman.
no, you won't. I'm not frightened by anyone I can't see.
Put down that ether.
I'm going ahead with my work.
No! No!
You may not be able to see me, Mr. Whittington, but I think you may feel this.
Why, you!
Now I'm releasing this girl, and then I'm holding you until I can get the police out here. They'll be very interested in your experiment.
You think you could keep me here, do you?
The lights! He put out the lights!
Now, Mr. Shadow, I'm invisible too, and I'm getting out of here right now!
Stop him! He's going through that window!
Come back here, Whittington!
Come and get me, Shadow!
Come on, Margot, he's not getting away.
There he is, crossing the lawn!
He's apparently trying to get to our car. He better watch out for those dogs. There's two figures running after Whittington. Yes, it's those dogs! Those giant dogs!
They're tearing him to pieces!
Whittington, look out!
Can't you do something for him?
It's too late. Quick, back to the house.
They're catching us! Quick! Well, now that we've seen that Mr. Harper is in good hands, I don't mind saying I'm pretty glad about leaving that place behind, Lamont. You do meet some interesting people.
Well, you can't say that they're dull.
No. Did you tell the police about the dogs?
Yes, they've destroyed them, and Whittington's body is being removed to town.
Huh. You know something, Lamont?
What?
Whenever I see an alley cat from now on, I'll think to myself, there, but for the grace of the Shadow, go I.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
The role of Lamont Cranston was played by Paul Guggenheimer. Delane Krager was Margot Lane. The role of Arthur was played by Art Moss. Harper was John Krager, and Chad Gall played Jasper the butler. The unfortunate Sam, as well as the professor, was voiced by Larry Fuller. Sam's wife, Annie, was played by Lindsay Chapman. Brian Ross was the sound technician, and I'm your announcer and Foley artist, Ralph Swain. Thank you for listening. And now, a word from our sponsors. Even if you brush in a rush, Brisk Fluoride Toothpaste starts instant action against tooth decay. Brisk, B-R-I-S-K, Brisk.
When you're late and in a rush to clean your teeth, do you really brush or do you just brush in a rush? Brisk helps protect you from decay, starts instant action right away. Even if you brush in a rush, Brisk Fluoride Toothpaste.
You should brush your teeth thoroughly, but when you have to brush in a rush, Brisk Fluoride Toothpaste starts instant action against tooth decay. Helps strengthen tooth enamel on contact. Instantly destroys most bacteria that cause mouth odor and decay.
Even if you brush in a rush,